creative expression. Today, we are going to focus ourselves on the importance on how to express ourselves from a more deep way, or in the way that it's more aligned to our own personality, and how important it is to express ourselves from the heart. No matter what you are doing, you always need to be connected with yourself to be able to fully express what you want the other person to receive, or the other people that are listening to you to receive. If we are not connecting with ourselves, then we don't deliver a clear message. And we will go little by little into this topic, because I think it's very important to understand why we started first by connecting with the body. No, it's like the first step to understand how we function, then how we feel, the emotions, then which are our own tools, and then how we relate to others. We were talking about healthy relationships and how can we create these connections with other people. But of course, the way to create more deep connections with others and with ourselves is when we express what we have inside ourselves. Our expression is this beautiful bridge in between what we are and what we feel, and sharing it with the world, but also what we think, what we believe. So if we consider that our neck, our throat is our vehicle to express, then let's look at our body as at this part of our body as the part where we express, where we manifest in the outside world what we think, what we believe, what we see, but also what we are, what we feel. It is very important to understand our expression. So let's start by saying that expression is the act of transmitting your thoughts, your feelings, your ideas to others. It is this way of sharing yourself with the world. That is expression. And it always involves language, well, in different ways, language, gestures, or other types of communication to allow ourselves to share everything that is inside ourselves, everything that is also coming from our own experiences, our dreams, everything that is inside ourselves. When we become authentic, when you are fully saying what you are feeling or needing or believing in, then you are becoming authentic with the people around you. If you are always expressing yourself from the opinion of others, then it is not you. Then your heart is not there. What is the purpose of expressing ourselves? And I am placing a butterfly, not only because, I love butterflies, but butterfly is the symbol also of manifesting, and it is the symbol of communication, because physically speaking, this area in our neck, in our throat, the thyroid gland, this space, if you see it, is kind of a butterfly. And what expression means, or what is the purpose of expressing ourselves? Why we need to express ourselves? First of all, we want to resonate. Through the sound, through what we express, we resonate with the world. If your expression is vibrating with love, with clarity, with empathy, that is what you are going to resonate with. But if your way of expressing is coming more from sadness, from sorrow, from fear, that is where we are going to resonate with. This is talking in terms of energy. So you will vibrate in these energies that we have been talking about. And then you will attract, because you are expanding that from yourself into the outside world. And this is what it's going to come back to you. This is the purpose of the expression, to allow us to resonate with whatever is aligned to us. Then the other purpose is to transmit whatever message we need to deliver. Each one of us in this planet has a different message to deliver, because we are a very specific individual with different perceptions, with different stories, with different ways of seeing life, with different interpretations. When we share, when we transmit these messages through our lives, through our expression, then we are bringing out into the world another way of seeing and being alive. No matter what you are doing, you are transmitting something to the world through yourself and through the different ways that you use to express yourself. Of course, to share your beliefs, your feelings, your thoughts, moments, because of course, when we express ourselves, we connect with others, no? Which is one of the other purposes, to connect, to create these bonds with other people, to grow, to learn, to live. The other purpose of expression is to understand. When we express ourselves, we understand more our own selves, but also we understand more how our message has been received, how clear or not we are being with the rest of the world, how the world functions, because we are able to see, when we express, the reactions of the people. We contribute as well, as I mentioned, with our message. We contribute with just a nice word. Sometimes an expression which could be in the shape of art or a smile. We contribute when we express our gratitude as well, for example. We're contributing to create something different in a person, in one day, or in 1 minute. No, we can change the world of someone in 1 minute just with one smile or with a nice word. And also, we are looking forward to be heard. I don't know you, but sometimes, and this is very typical with girls, when we are together in between women, normally we don't listen. We are mostly talking at the same time and thinking at the same time as the other person is talking. We are not fully paying attention to what the other person is saying, because there's an inner talk, connecting with the words, trying to understand, but we are not just fully paying attention. We are always trying to understand and to connect and to relate what we are listening to our lives. And think about those moments when you are having like a coffee with a friend and you don't want any kind of advice. You don't want any kind of opinion, but you only need to be heard. It is like when we talk with our couples, with our partners, and then you are just spitting out everything that you are feeling, and the guy is just looking at you like, what do I need to do? And we just say, nothing, just listen to me. Because this is very typical. We need to be heard, because also by spreading our worth, we are listening to ourselves. Sometimes we are just looking forward to be heard in order to find our own answers. not the answers that we are waiting for somebody else to tell us, or not for their opinions. It's just for us trying to find our own answers. We have different ways of expressing ourselves. Of course, words, speaking and talking and saying out loud what we feel, what we think. Writing is another way of expressing. There are a lot of ways of expressing, but I just pointed some here. We can write. And for some of us, it's easier to write sometimes before speaking. And it is very recommended when we don't know how to say things, or when we really need to say something that is quite important or maybe painful, to write down first what we feel, what we think, what we would like the other person to understand, to have a clear message before speaking, before saying it out loud. And this goes completely connected with the healing relationships. If I want to heal a relationship with someone, I really need to be clear on the message, on how am I saying the things to heal that relationship or to continue having a healthy relationship with someone else. But I need to be clear on the message. I need to be clear on my own feelings. Again, self-awareness. We can also express ourselves through arts, meaning painting, sculpting, crafting, cooking, gardening, crafting something with love. I think it's very beautiful when we would like to express our love, our gratitude, or just our thoughts, no, or just our emotions through arts, because we don't want to use only words. Performing, people that are practicing or studying theater or going to theater classes, it's amazing because you can become another person performing and opening yourself to be more free to express things that maybe you have in yourself, but you are not allowing yourself to be expressed. And they use theater to express those things. Theater and artistic things are very therapeutic for people that they don't know how to express themselves, because going into a role, it helps us to be another person, and we are more free and comfortable to say things that maybe we are not able to say it as we are in our own person, right? And another way of expressing, and it is something that we really need to do more often, is silence. And I am talking about silence, not as let's go and meditate. Don't think about anything. It's really being quiet. It's really this moment of paying attention to the sound, to the noise that is happening in life. And this is an exercise that is allowing us to be fully present, not only listening to our thoughts, it's also listening to life, listening to silence, to this vibration, okay, that I was mentioning before. Sometimes by not saying anything, we are doing something great. We are expressing ourselves by saying nothing, no? Through the act of expressing yourself, you can gain a better understanding of your own thoughts and emotions and develop a clear sense of identity and purpose. This is what I was saying before. When we express ourselves, we are connecting with what we are feeling or thinking. And when we just let it go out, then we have more clarity. First, because this energy is coming out, and we are more able first to feel it and then to see it outside. And when we see it, we become the observer of what was inside ourselves. And then we find answers because we are able to detach ourselves from what we are saying. That is why when we are in the middle of a talk with someone and then suddenly you are saying something and you realize, oh, that was my answer. I just found it by myself. Meanwhile, I am saying that to you. And that is the gift of expression. When I am teaching, that's when I find my answers. And sometimes, of course, I am not going to tell you each time that it's happening, but when I am sharing with you the things that I am teaching, I am feeling them when it's something that I need to adjust in myself. I don't know how to explain it, but sometimes I am talking about arts and then I start feeling that I maybe need to paint or I need to go to theater classes. And through this expression of myself, when I teach, when I talk, I find my own answers or my own things that I need to take care of.